Let's just all find that familiar spot in your body, whatever that feels like for you. Just allow your shoulders to draw down. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your eyes to close. And let's just honor the fact that something prompted you to show up in this moment. Maybe it's an alarm on your phone. It's a reminder on your calendar. There's some gentle nudge that says, pause. It's time for meditation. And I would encourage you not to approach this practice with plans of how many times you're going to do it each week or each month or each year. Come to this moment right here, right now, and honor that. And so begin to breathe in nice and slow and deep. And then breathe out nice and slow and complete. And then breathing in again, slowly, deeply. And breathing out just as slowly and completely. And begin to find your rhythm, the pace of breath that you need in this moment. And if you look at the calendar, today does represent our first meditation collectively of this new calendar year. And many of us have arrived with this new year with intentions, with heart's desires, with aspirations. But what I would ask us to do is think about, what does our practice look like in the context of all those plans that we make, all those goals that we set, all those intentions that we connect to? How does your practice fit into that? And so let's just each pause individually and let that question just kind of sit. How does my practice, my meditation time, fit into all the other plans? And what I'd like for us to do in these few minutes that we have together today is I want to pose some questions that might help us to find clarity to how it is that our meditation practice fits in with everything else. Because we are busy people. And the first thing that will cause you not to show up for yourself and for this present moment is how busy you are. It's not an excuse. It's also not something to feel guilty about. It's just the reality of this life that we all live. But when you can set your practice in context of everything else, all of a sudden you'll begin to see how the practice really does inform all the other parts. And so just continue to stay connected to that rhythm of breath, whatever it feels like for you. And just ask yourself this question: what do I desire to have happen in my life? Truly, what do I desire to have happen in my life? It could be today, it could be for the rest of time, it could be these finite timestamps you could put on it, but just what do you desire to have happen in your life? It's not a goal of I'm going to do these many things by this date. It's bigger than that. It's more holistic. It's about the totality of us. So it's like we're peering into our heart with a flashlight and just shining this light and asking ourselves, what do I desire to have happen in my life? And in our meditation practice together, we don't try to answer the questions, we just ask them. And then in a moment, we'll sit quietly and we'll let those questions just hang and hold space. And we'll see what is revealed. So the second question I would ask us each is, what's in the way of that heart's desire? You have this longing, this desire in your heart and in your soul, but what's in the way of it manifesting? And again, you don't have to make a list and name things. Just ask the question, what's in the way? And then thirdly, once I discover what my heart's desire is for my life, and once I begin to recognize the things that are in the way of it actually being fulfilled, am I willing to let those things go? Am I willing to turn loose of whatever's in the way? And so I want to just share just a personal reflection that might help you see, just through this transparency of who I am as a person still on a journey just like you, that every day we have to recommit. Because I know that my answer to question number 2 is the thing that's in the way is my calendar. And it is so filled with worthy, good things. But I know that if I can't get some semblance of order and flexibility within that calendar, my heart's desire will never truly manifest to the level that it was meant to. Which means that my purpose in this world will never get to be fully realized. And so I share that with you because I have that as an ongoing challenge. But I have to ask myself that third question: are there things, once I recognize, that I am willing to turn loose of? And so I think if I'd ask you to start with question 3, we'd all say yes. Just tell me what's in the way, I will let it go. But we got to start with question 1. And so as we sit together, and we're going to just pause here collectively, individually, be open to letting your heart show you what it is that you desire to have happen in your life. And as that becomes clear, maybe in these moments, maybe in the days to follow, maybe months from now, you'll be open to the next question of what's in the way. What's getting in the way of my life being what it was meant to be? And so we'll pause. We'll grow quiet. There's almost a guarantee that in the quiet, your mind will wander. Your thoughts will start to bubble up. But bring yourself back to that slow, deep breath in and that slow, deep breath out. And see if you can arrive back to this moment right here. Continuing to breathe slowly with intention. If it feels right for you, I would invite you to bring your left hand and put it right in the center of your chest. And then cover it up with your right hand if that feels right. And just imagine where those hands are. The deepest, heartfelt desire that you have for your life is sitting right there. But just like this representation of our hands are covering it up, these layers on top of it, That's what happens in our everyday life. We show up to meditation individually, collectively, whatever it looks like for each of us throughout the days and the weeks. And we recommit. And we turn that light inward and we start to discover what's deep within our heart. And then we rise up from this spot where we are. We go about our schedules and our lives, our responsibilities, and these layers begin to cover it back up. If your hands are on your heart right now, gently take them away. And while I know that life is difficult and the world is loud and confusing sometimes, as simply as you remove those hands from your heart here, you can commit to removing those things that are covering up this heartfelt desire as well. It's an everyday practice. It's an everyday commitment. I told you these are things I struggle with every day. But I will tell you, the struggle gets a little less day by day, month by month, year by year. So as we prepare to leave these collective spaces where we are right now, let's just remind ourselves that as we understand our heartfelt desire for what do we want to see in our life, and we begin to look at the stuff that's in the way of it, that we have to recommit to letting go of those things day by day, month by month, year by year. Not only is it possible, it truly is one of the most precious and beautiful things that you can do for yourself. And then ultimately, one of the most precious and beautiful things that you can do for this world. But first we have to sit with this discovery of, what do you want to see happen in your life? What is your heartfelt desire and longing for who you want to be, how you want to be, and your contribution to this world? Be open to the questions. And then as they are revealed, be open to letting go to whatever is getting in the way of it. As easily and as simply and as resolutely as you pulled those hands away from your heart. Namaste.